We are confronted with the stark realities of our time. Spiritual, moral, and physical breakdowns plague our world, and there are indications that mankind is heading to a crash. We have this book authored by Mbamasa Thomas, Headed to a Crash, which is a guide that will redirect mankind to the path of morality, so to embrace a life of purpose and accountability. You are going to learn more about that in the course of this program because he is right here. Hello and welcome to the book. Hello, Thomas. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, Auntie Susie. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
Sharing knowledge without doubt brings a lot of joy. And I guess that wasn't the only reason why you had to you had to publish this book.
Sure. It has to be one of the reasons, but it's not the only reason. I think the major reason that pushed me to publishing this book is the fact that I'm constantly concerned about societal issues. I'm constantly concerned about problems happening in the society. And when I look at the way the world is gradually disintegrating and it looks like it's going at a pace that it's alarming and it's a cause for concern. The wars, the violence, the threats of conflict at every level, family, communities, villages, nations. I think I had to propose something. I give thanks to the Holy Spirit for inspiring me to be able to propose something that could be a moral guide to help society calm down some boiling minds and maybe calm down the geopolitical tension also. Yeah, so I think Headed to a Crash is kind of a proposed solution to my generation at a time when it needs it the most.
Oh, that's good. We have Barrister Tumfor Nikohale, whom I say hello to you, sir. He is a peace crusader, and we equally have a senior journalist, Chonko Beki Besong, a human rights advocate who forwarded this book. And they say this book is timely, and that they would like that every household gets a copy. Now, I want to find out from you what actually is so interesting in this book that they say all these things.
Yeah, truly, if you look at society now, I'm sure you do not feel safer today than you felt yesterday. You feel a lot of risks when you step out because we are in a time where everybody seems to be concerned with speed. Nobody cares about the path they're treading. Nobody cares about the dangers of what they're doing. So this book comes at a time where there is that high-level threat. This societal ills mentioned in this book, there are 7 schemes mentioned in this book, and these schemes seems to be at the climax of its operations. And the funny thing about it is that if something is not done with an urgency, these schemes may be normalized, and they may become the new norm because they're fast becoming norms in other societies, and we're trying to copy them, and they can destroy our own society as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
We are going to deep dig into this book when we come back because it's time for us to have our forward. And we are having senior journalists here at CRTV, Chonko Beki Besong, on standby because she has something very particular to say about this publication. Let's watch.
Headed for a Crash is a must read because it's a masterpiece that mirrors our society. Away from the usual chapters, M.N. Thomas decides to title the different aspects, schemes, 7 destructive schemes that he has observed in society. This society is not just worldwide. Even in Cameroon, destructive schemes which if we don't watch against, we are headed for a crash. Moral decadence, fallen moral values, no respect for anybody, self-centeredness, corruption, hypocrisy, backstabbing, influence peddling. Thomas tells us that because of leadership rascality. His generation are losing self-esteem and self-worth and are even losing their purpose of being. So, sometimes you need to hear it from someone who looks like you to be able to realize that the problem is a plaguing one and you are called to contribute to the solution. I want to say that in this book, Thomas tells us that differences in language, ethnicity, culture, differences in political leanings or religious beliefs or ways of worship are not supposed to be dividing us. He says that we are headed for a crash if we continue in the current folly of divisions across identities and even sexual orientation. And this sexual orientation in the 136-page book, he mentions self-centeredness, oppression of others. We have it in Cameroon. We have seen it during the Boko Haram insurgency. We have witnessed it during the Anglophone crisis. Thomas mirrors people who decorate evil. Today you have young people who flaunt the models of those who succeed through faulty means, dubious means. So it's a must read. And why is it a must read? Because the young man returns to the origin of things. He draws from the Holy Scripture to tell his generation and us and those to come after that parents need to review home and moral education. What are the values you teach your children so that when they go to school or they're in the society and someone wants to derail them, they will remember. What are the models? Who are the model leaders we have in Cameroon? Are they the oppressive? Are they the ones who are promoting LGBTQ and the rest? Are they the leaders who are promoting values like induced abortion or untamed comedy? We have many comedians in Cameroon today. Do you listen to their messages? Or do they just joke about the things that are undermining the common man? So it's a must read.
You're welcome back, and if you're just joining us, you are watching The Book with Susie. You say our world is heading to a crash because the core values are fading out rapidly. What is futile is what man is pursuing. Which are these things that are actually futile that men are after?
I will start with a common saying in our country. It's in French. I don't know how to better put it in English. They say "Vive remuneration."
Okay.
Yeah, and I think it just sounds very okay to people out there. People are selling their dignity, they are selling their conscience because of the quest to make money. I take, for example, people involved into unspeakable practices that destroyed the body, that destroyed society as a whole, just because they want to put food on the table or because they want to feel belong. They want to fit in to a certain supposed standard to a conceptual standard that they have just conceived in their mind, like, okay, this is a standard that I should be, and they want to fit in with it no matter the cost. So going forward, we talk about morals, like if you look about the sexual profligacy in our society today, even in the schools, there is almost no week that you will not get a heart-touching news about certain things happening, the immorality at every level. We will not talk about the selfishness, the self-centered, the egocentric living that it's fast disintegrating. And the problem now is that we seem not to be seeing the consequences of it, because, like, that's why I call them scheme, because on the first go, they look harmless. But when you dig deep, you realize that they are extremely dangerous and destructive to humanity and to our society as a whole.
Don't you think that all of this is as a result of poverty?
Yeah, it's as a result of poverty, but the same poverty that pushes others to go into such unspeakable immorality is the same poverty that pushes others to work extremely hard.
Okay.
So now, that's why in this book we also we propose pathways that could help people when you are going through difficult situations in poverty, that they could make a decent living, they could chase a path that is built on integrity. Yeah, I think, for example, like even going through this book, I faced challenges, and I've had proposals also. Some of these proposals that will be fast for me to make it big there, but will have to take me down the same road that I'm preaching against, and I have to turn them down, sometimes with a heavy heart, because I see what I want, because I don't think there's anybody who doesn't want money. I want big money like every other person. I see it coming, but then I have to compromise my core values. I have to compromise my standards to get there. And I'm like, no, I prefer to be patient, to go one step at a time.
Okay. Yes, you highlighted 7 schemes. You talked about self-centeredness, oppression, oppressing others, decorating, covering evil, legitimizing LGBTQ, legitimizing induced abortion, leadership rascality, and censored comedy. Let's talk about the first scheme, which is self-centeredness. Tell us how this actually plays a role in destroying our society.
All right. I think that is even the major cause of society disintegrating today, because people care just about themselves. People don't care about the consequences of their action on others, on society as a whole. I'll take one example, one encounter I had. I was I was in the city of Kumba, and I went to buy something at a store. And I saw this little boy and a little girl. They came in, they were about 10 years old. It was during this festive season. They came in to buy alcohol. They wanted to drink, and then there were parents there, and it seemed so normal to everybody.
Normal to them, yeah.
So I told the person selling, like, I don't think you should be selling alcohol to these children. They are minors. And then, to my greatest surprise, the mothers who were there told me, can you mind your business? They are not your children. Let people's children be. So, and that is just to tell you. And my response to that mother was, this boy that you want him to drink alcohol simply because it's not your child. If he grew up to become an armed robber tomorrow, even your own child who is well educated will not be safe in the same quarter with him. So I'm trying to portray that if we continue to build this aspect of self-centeredness, because we are misquoting it with self-love, we will get to that level that none of us will be safe, because like someone said, no one is safe until all of us are safe. Yes, so we have to consider others with the actions we take, with the words we speak, so that if I'm communicating with you, Auntie Susie, before I say a word, I should imagine, how will it play on your emotions? What could you be going through? What traumas could you be handling? Will this break you down? And will this help build you up? So I think when we stop being selfish, when we stop being self-centered and start integrating others, it will be the best for us.
Okay. Well, we're going to be coming back, because we have this other break, which is the Vox Pop. And we had this question. I found it very, very interesting. And I've actually wanted to get the opinion of our people out there. That, will you rather prefer to fight societal rascality or remain passive?
Definitely, I would love to fight against societal ills, and the best way to me, I think, is by communication. There is a need to sensitize the public. There is a need to communicate on this by bringing actors that are concerned with these vices to communicate, because at times most of these societal ills are bound because there is a lack of information, there is a lack of communication, there is a need for sensitization. If we remain silent, it's definitely going to get out of hand. So there is a need to communicate, to sensitize, to educate educate, and especially children from the grassroots level, from the primary, the nursery, the secondary. When that education is being established, it should be incorporated at the level of our institutions. When that is being done, then there is a need that we can begin having that hope of a mentality change from the grassroots that will move up to the top, and definitely these vices in society can be curbed.
I would prefer to fight for it, fight against societal ill, because the society today is going astray, if I may say. Everybody just do what he or she feels like to do, and things are becoming us uncontrollable. So I will firmly say I would like to fight against that. And how can I even do that? That's I can sensitize people against the certain ills. Even try to, let me say, yeah, carry on a campaign, talk about how the society is going on today. It's not for our own benefit, neither for our own children's benefit. So we have to stand and fight against certain ills.
I, for one, I'm a mother, and as an educated person, I don't think it's preferable to let go societal ills because we want to believe it doesn't concern us. No. It is the duty of each and every one to correct ourselves, correct little things we see around us in order to make our environment suitable and conducive for us to live in by correcting mistakes that we see around us. If we all join our hands to work together against societal ills, I think things are going to move better on our part and on the part of others. We cannot do all, but do what you can, and that which you see in front of you that you can correct. Morals and discipline is the best so far. Let's all try to look at our moral statutes and try to correct it and and discipline ourselves or those around us. If we take it a responsibility, then it's going to be better for all of us.
You're welcome back. And of course, we are having our guests, Mbamasa Thomas, and he is the author of Headed to a Crash. The first scheme that you talked about was self-centeredness. Now let's look at this other aspect, oppressing others. What will you say?
You know, oppressing other is something that is very common today. Mm-hmm. As basic as, let me take for example, when somebody want to do something, let me want to buy a car, somebody is in the mind like, oof, let me just buy my car, I will shake them, I will show them pepe out here. And this mindset, as jokingly it may look at this level, when we get higher, it becomes dangerous. We get to a point where people want to oppress people out of jealousy, out of mere jealousy, out of greed. Mm-hmm. Somebody wants your resources, like what we're having now as the main cause of most of the political wars that we're having around the world today. Somebody wants your resources and they think he should oppress you at every single way possible to get them. Somebody wants to let you know that I'm more than you. And I think most people who suffer from what I call narcissistic disorder, or people who fail to draw the line between narcissism and self-love, they believe that I must be the one to be on the center stage. And at every point, they want to keep everyone down. Mm-hmm. So that also disintegrates society. I don't think anybody wants to be beside anybody that is impulsive, anybody that is oppressive.
Not me.
Yeah.
No.
So I think it's something that is a scheme too.
We are going to come back because it's time for us to take the last break on this show, which is titled On the Shelf. Of course, we have Professor Nyahans, who on the last edition schooled us on the, what printing is all about. And today, let's talk about the process of book printing. We shall be right back.
When it comes down to printing, printing too has its own stages. It all begins at the level of typesetting. All right. When the work has been typeset, after it has been typeset, when the typesetting is over, it's been now taken down to the laboratory. They call it in the printing press. There's also a lab, and in this laboratory, it is a place where what they call calcs, they are being transformed, or they are being put on what they call plate. Some call maquettes, some call stencils. It's a whole process. And when the material to be printed is already put on plate, this plate, plates, and then being taken down to the machines in which it is being printed by professional printers. Now, when the printing is over, there is another process called the compilation process. They are printed on large surfaces, all right? And so when it's been trimmed, it's now being compiled. In advanced nations, this compilation is also done by machine, all right? Here it is done by hand. After compiling, there is the bounding process, where the book is being bound in a way that the pages are bound in a volume. After this process, we go to the trimming process, wherein the work is being trimmed to the form that it would be consumed in the market. After the trimming process now, I think there is the parceling process. And after parceling, it is being sent now for distribution. So.
We shall soon be drawing the curtains on this edition of the program, and Thomas is right here to talk about his book, Headed to a Crash. And as he says, values are fading away and futility is becoming the pursuit of men. Now, the desire of most people today is for humanity to walk according to the principles of our Creator, right? Mm-hmm. What do you recommend so that people can take action?
What I can recommend first is that just like have my cell phone. Mm-hmm. If I get a cell phone from a company and I want to know how to best use that cell phone, I will look at the manual from the manufacturer. What does it recommend? Mm-hmm. So I recommend that people should go back to the manual about their life. Somebody made us. Mm-hmm. We are someone's product, and we have a manufacturer. Mm-hmm. And this manufacturer have set down guided principles through inspiring men who have written the scripture and books like this one that can guide us towards righteous path. And I just want to say to that, people should live with the watchword of what is my purpose? What am I giving to this world? Because I believe none of us is here to just exist and go. Mm-hmm. Every one of us is a package gift to this generation or to this world. Mm-hmm. And if you just exist, you will take anything in. You will give anything out without caring of the consequences. But if you're conscious of purpose and knowing that you have an account to give, then you will be more principled in the way you operate. And when you're more principled, you will do unto others what you want them to do unto you as a golden rule service.
I would definitely want you to stay on this state for us to talk about it, but we have to go. Mm-hmm. You launched this book just a few days back. Mm-hmm. Tell me, how was it?
Ooh, it was awesome and it was massive. And I just want to say shout out to all those who were at Crystal Palace and those who couldn't be there, but they're sending supporting messages and resources to make sure that the event was successful. It was really tremendous, and it gladdened my heart to see that Cameroonians returned out to support the launch of the book. Okay,
but you still have other launches that will be coming up?
Yes, there is a launch coming up in the city of Kumba and one in the city of Yaoundé. The dates are still to be fixed, and I'm sure I may be back here in the studio, God willing, to talk about these upcoming launches.
Okay, so tell me, a copy cost how much?
On the shelf, the copy costs 5,000 francs. Mm-hmm. Yes, on Amazon it's $12.99. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so how do we contact you to get a copy?
Okay, people can contact me directly through 653-208140.
Take it again.
653-208140. Or they can just write me on the website of kingdompress.com.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mama Sir Thomas, thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me, Auntie Susie.
Okay, and of course, thank you for watching this other edition of the book with me, Susan Bell. I hope that we are going to be together next week for another edition. I love you. Stay blessed. Bye-bye.